Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Endless Space 2. I'm having a pretty good time in this game. Our strategy is kind of working out, it's kind of accelerating, and also, look at how beautiful the galaxy is. From this level of zoom, you almost can't tell what an absolute mess everything, just what a total nightmare it must be to live here. Anyway, let's get in. So, we have a problem, right? This is an issue. Not to say that we definitely can't kill this fleet, because we totally might be able to kill this fleet. But the fact that they can even build 20 control point fleets is a real issue for us. It's going to be 6 turns before we can match that. We're looking at about 3,500 science per turn. So, you know, it's possible we could get a turn or two off of this through Spoils of War, because we really do make a lot of science fighting a fleet of this size. Do I just want to stand my ground? Stay right here and have at them with my extremely good military behemoth, which I think is extremely good? It's not upgraded all the way. What would it take to upgrade it the rest of the way? Where are we at here? 10,000 dust is... How doable is that? I know I've been selling a lot of stuff. Okay, we're pretty short on things at the moment. We can definitely afford to part with all of this stuff because, you know, we're waiting on hydromiel anyway. That gets us halfway there. So we get about 6k out of that stuff. This is remarkably valuable. So we can do it. Let's do it. Let's max out, right? I have enough influence that I guess we could trade with players instead of, like, maybe we could trade with players instead of just selling off all of our resources. Although I don't have a ton of stuff of value. Let's maybe go have a chat with our alliance mates. Maybe one of them will have,
we're kind of busy.
Have some dust and a desire to... I don't know, get some tech from us or something. Do you want all of these hyper packs? In exchange for... Huh. Okay, that's interesting. I didn't realize that sending people gifts reduced pressure. Turns out you can still learn things even after playing the game for about 1 billion hours. He would love to exchange this for 1 dust. But what about, like, 3,000 dust? How's that sound? Because that'll get me... Okay. You know what? I'm not gonna... We could spend a lot of time fiddling with this. Let's just go ahead and sell some stuff. Like, we don't actually need that. We'll get quadradix. I'm not worried about that. And then if we sold, like... it was 10.6, though, wasn't it? You know what? Let's just... We'll be fine. Everything's gonna be fine. It was 10.5. Alright. Obviously, it would be bad if the Kestrels got in a fight here. So our military behemoth would not be the one that I would want to engage first. Let's have this fleet selected when we hit end turn. And we'll see if we can't pull those guys... We might actually be able to win with this fleet. I know that we're outnumbered, something like 11-4, but on the whole, I think our fleet is better than theirs. And we have the buff from the Order of the Red Phoenix. Order of the Red Blade. Is this one something Phoenix? Where's I getting that Phoenix thing? I don't know. I'm just thinking birds. I got birds on the brain here. Yeah, alright, I think we're going to hit end turn, and we are just going to try to queue up that attack as soon as possible. I want to engage on them. I don't want them to engage on me, because if they engage on me, I think they'll pull the behemoth, and I'd really like for this fleet to lead the violence. The behemoth is not that good at fighting that number of ships. Alright, come on, guys. You know you want to get in here. We both know you're going to end the turn in this position. You may as well just do it. Okay. Let's have at you. We don't need to spend any K before going on the battle. May as well pick up the other point of this. So we'll deal with that in a second. We got a new hero incoming, which we will also deal with in a second. 60 whole science. My lord. Alright, Sirius apparently has orichalcix, which is pretty cool. Okay, good, and it's on a different planet than the other strategics. That's actually really nice. So that's improved functionality for interplanetary transport network. Obviously, we have to actually get the exploitation tech here, which I guess we could go into after we pick up universal aerodynamics, although it may be the case that we'd be better off going for a little bit more military tech. We have so many other things we have to do, though. Now, military tech is better with more advanced resources. This is where we're headed now. Do we have a source of quadronics already in the Empire? I've forgotten. We do. It's on Vega. Is it a good deposit? It's an alright deposit. I think I'm going to switch the order of these. And a lot of that just has to do with the fact that the microwave pipes are a fantastic building, and the thing that's related to, the thing that's on the orichalcix refining tech is a lot less valuable for us. Okay, is there any other place where we gotta resolve combat? Well, obviously this is gonna have to be a thing. And this we don't have to we don't have to worry about this one going sideways. This is pretty clean. So 200 more science from that. Here we have a kite versus... Oh, just vine ships? Yeah, let us be rid of them. So I didn't actually point it out specifically, but we did have... there was some stuff on Gobris. A red colony and a Lumeris colony. It looks like the red colony probably starved due to our intervention here. Go ahead and pop those guys, and then also that ship, and here also that ship. So 664 and 900. And we are doing all right. So now we should probably do something that costs K. Let's have a look in here. This is a 7-pop planet. This is a 7-pop planet. I'm just thinking, like, this battle is going to generate quite a lot, right? No, we should really be in guard mode over here. We have an economic behemoth going that way, and one going this way. They used a lot of their behemoth slots on economic behemoths, but they haven't actually built any citadels, which is kind of weird. Just trying to figure out, is there anything else really pressing that needs to get done? Oh, well, hold on. Obviously, we run this guy off. Alright, so where do I want to... And probably what we're going to do is set up a fealty foundation, right? Here seems good. 8 population, and it's not, like, on the front. Okay, now let's engage in some combat and earn ourselves some rewards. You are going to have to wait... Okay, we have orders on everybody. Alright, let's do it. We are predicted to win this at a rate that I think is probably not... This is not right. This is not right. We are not ahead by that much, but it should be good. So these ships are mostly going to want to be medium, right? It's all Brig 9, Schooner 8. Schooner 8 and Schooner 7 are not actually terribly different. A lot of bombers. So... trying to think here. What's the best version of this? Because they're actually going to have ships in all 3 flotillas. Having the taxi sit out safe like this to hold this flotilla in place is probably not actually a good idea. I'm wondering if we want to maybe run the Eagle in this slot as well. Like, what if we did it like this? We're going to lose this flotilla pretty quickly. But not as quickly. And I mean, our hero does have 3,000 health. And he's technically a small ship, right? So the bombers won't actually do very much damage to him. And these brigs are pretty low on damage, even for small ships. You know, we might be okay here, actually. I'm going to try it this way. Oh, really? Wow. Okay, I was not expecting them to not even try to fight us. That's really interesting. Well, then, obviously, the big fleet's moving up that star lane, right? And we should probably take the Kestrels up there as well. No reason to hold off. And I suppose the Hawk can also go? He's not doing anything here. He can at least deliver 100 manpower. And we'll leave the military behemoth behind for now in defense position. Actually, that may not even be necessary. Let's see. Does it matter? No, I don't think it matters. Either one of those kites can merge in. Doesn't make a difference. They have 1050 manpower here. We don't have the ability to deploy all that much, but we only have 920 manpower in this fleet and another 29 in this one. We actually could really use some manpower. Unfortunately, I've been filling garrisons and stuff with it, or garrisons and stuff from the Empire pool for such a long time that we don't really have a lot of other options here. Alright, so we're going to blow up this behemoth, and then these guys are also, or this schooner is also headed over here. And once we've done that, I think we can bail out a Zubin and start moving toward the rest of the blue territory over here. Excuse me. And the Cravers can just be terrified. Be terrified of the things that will be committed on their borders. How many turns are left on? Obsidian Eagle is running for another 2 turns. I'm wondering if it is sensible to move the military behemoth out and start threatening these guys. Because the military behemoth plus one of these eagles could really do a number on Etchius. We don't know for sure that Blue doesn't have a real navy, but I would think he would have shown us something by now, right? What did we see? He came over with like almost 20 small ships that were not capable of fighting. I do wish we were a little bit closer, because you can see our fleet doesn't have the doesn't have this icon, which I think means they're not benefiting from the aura. What we could do is we could have the military behemoth. Yeah, okay, this is a little silly. I don't want to abandon Dobrynia just yet, but what we're going to do is have the military behemoth start up this way, they reach here, and then turn around. So at least we're we have them in the aura, and no, okay, they do not. Only the thing emitting the aura gets the symbol. That's a little unfortunate. It's like I like it much better here, right, where we're getting an indication that these systems are benefiting. Well, whatever, it's fine. Okay, other stuff. We probably don't actually want to do this invasion. I wish there was a way to prioritize manpower, because I assume what's happening here is that we're filling the garrisons of new systems. Maybe not. Like, where's this 1800 manpower actually going? Okay, we are refilling this Eagle, and that's important too. We have to... These ships have to be ready to go to Volans. I just don't feel certain that if I even if I run this fleet over to Lahat that they'll actually get the refill they need. Well, I guess let's do it, though. Let's have them sit over here until they do have the manpower. Why did the amount of manpower that is being pulled reduce by so much there? That's very strange. I was expecting that to just go to minus 1.4k, but it actually went from minus 1300 to minus 800. Yeah, there's a lot of things that happen in this game that I still don't understand. Alright, let's talk about heroes. So what do we need? A governor more than another guardian, almost certainly. We have access to a primitive here. +5 influence on system. Primitives have a lot of food. Actually, pretty good overall. Our primitive overseer is not a bad pull. And then the imperial overseer, sadly, pretty much just influence, right? You get a little bit of industry, more resource mining. Yeah, I think we're going to take Shaken here. Also, we already have a Dominic Havanen. If we hired you, it would get very confusing. So, where are we going to put you? Let's see here. Bonnie could use more food. Like, that system has a lot of room to grow. Kurha is growing a little bit more slowly than I would like. This might actually be a good fit for him. Let's see, it's extra food on fertile, which is not particularly compatible here, but extra industry on hot. And none of these planets are fertile and only one of them is hot is a little awkward. Still, though. Yeah, still I think it's right. We need help here. The system needs to grow. So, let's go for farming logistics, which is just going to be 20 food on the system. That's totally fine. And then probably optimal operations expert. And then we'll get ascetic sustenance next, probably. All of the industry stuff can come after we get all the food. And with us actually holding Kurha, where are we at on population caps? We've just gotten access to some new planets, so we're probably not... Okay, here we are on our population cap. Why don't we send a few units of population... Actually, you know what? It probably would be best to send Haroshims, right? Send a bunch of Haroshims to Kurha, and hopefully they'll actually make it there this time. Then we can put them on. We can put them on Kurha 1, and they'll do the thing. Probably actually getting Kurha 1 becomes kind of a priority then. I don't know. Let's not stress about it too much. It does need to build the things we're currently building. Okay. I mean, I think this war's going pretty well. Hopefully our... Oh, I didn't actually put you on the system, though. Good call, video game menu system. Also... we'll finally get our other Kogewar Brightblade into play here. Okay, his stuff is not totally optimal. You know, the design's just a little bit out of date, that's all. Okay. So he'll get to participate in some good old-fashioned behemoth destruction, which is probably good XP, I have to imagine. Okay. I was going to say, really, we're only pulling that much manpower. This makes a little bit more sense. Pulling about 1,300 manpower. Although, I have to say, I'm surprised that we're still only seeing 35% into this ship at a time. I guess there's a limit to how quickly you can push manpower from one pool to another. Which is why there are traits that improve that limit, right? We hit a population collection bonus for the Kalgaros. I have not been watching our populations too closely. Kalgaros are at 10. The Lumeris are the only people we have above the 20 threshold. Aside from our core population, of course. Alright, what do we need to do here? We don't really We actually are not positive on influence right now. And we're not so strained for Hyperium that we can't afford to do this. I was trying to click on this fleet of theirs. Okay, it's going to take them 2 turns to reach Zorak. Here, obviously, we run these dudes off. Yeah, they're not going to fight us. Bunch of cowards is what they are. Does make it a little bit harder to get the KE. Honestly, in most games, I would be very disappointed to see 20 Hyperium as a quest reward, or as a reward of any kind on turn 112. Here, I saw that and I'm actually like, alright. Okay, I see where you're going with this. I'm down. So, I know that this may seem foolish, but we might have enough ships now. I think that's actually possible at this point. Let's go ahead and get tractable armaments here, just in case. You know, we probably should have it. Military behemoths are unbuildable because they require too much antimatter. We'll be able to start construction of another Eagle on Galter next turn, maybe? That might be worth doing. The Bagaba people are flourishing. They would love it if we would keep a religious law active, or an ecologist law. Well, that's definitely not happening. We do have lots of quests I could use to recover the KE that I spent, thinking that we might get a good battle. So there's still a ship that's going to arrive in 1 turn. I think we'll stick around here for 1 more turn. Are we full on manpower now? Oh no, so we're actively refilling as well. Yeah, so we'll stick around here for another turn or 2, probably. And then we'll head up to Volan's and let them know. The good news is that whole systems cannot retreat from us. Speaking of whole systems, let's do a thing, maybe? Actually, it looks like our total drop manpower is okay. Blitz them because we got 1,670 more manpower behind that. Let's just get in there. Let's drop 216 units of armor. Feels to me like they're going to have a hard time holding off this assault in the long term. Also, why are you not in guard mode anymore? Okay, so now that you've explored that, is there any place that there are actually curiosities left to get? Actually, yes. Unfortunately, Valter Homeworld is not going to be friendly to us. Well, it is the only place that has... Oh, no. Andromeda. And Andromeda's totally friendly to us. Should we maybe, though, cue in something of a more direct path? I know it's going to take a couple turns longer, but it also goes through a lot less Craver space, and I think that that is probably a good idea. That aside, I think we might be ready to move. We probably don't have to keep this Eagle here. This effect is about to end, and I don't want to reinitiate it, probably with the amount of K we have, so let's move the military behemoth up into guard position. And here's hoping that this is not just throwing away my Eagle. I think we could probably do a good job of menacing blue, though. Said an Eagle's not going to hold the day by itself. What if I just went over the space lanes? 6 turns is a little bit longer than I would like. Yeah, alright, let's just get in there. Let's get all the way in there. We're going to conduct ourselves like a bunch of Hisho. Which is to say, always running forward, sword above the head, constantly screaming, never thinking about, you know, consequences or any of that stuff. Not really doing a lot of thinking, basically. It's a lot of feeling, mostly feeling angry. So this guy was one turn away from reaching this last turn, right? My suspicion is I'm going to hit end turn, and that's when he's going to move. Yep. This is a thing the AI does that's really... Honestly, I know this is not a great word to use to describe the actions of a computer, but in a lot of ways it feels like a childish tactic. Though, well, technically I did move on that turn. It was just the very, very last second of that turn. That's a real, like, I'm not touching you sort of justification. Our services may be needed. Up here, actually. I'm gonna head on up. Alright. Refusing truces. I do appreciate that. Population booster on the he show ended, and we do not have the stuff to reinitiate it now. We will next turn. Okay. How are you guys doing on manpower refills? Okay, we're getting there. One more turn of waiting. 2,400 manpower going out of the Empire pool this turn. I don't know what I want to do with you just yet. Here, we need to resolve this battle. Obviously, he just runs. And then a lone shuttle appeared. It thought it could evade capture. It turns out I do have some extra action points. I just had to import them from other nearby systems. So this is a thing that happens if you divide the enemy empires in half. And they have a hard time moving population from one place to another. Okay, apparently one of our ships is out of date. Oh, it's the taxi doesn't have the modern, super fancy engines. I'm actually fine with that. Oh, we have to come over here and deal with this right now, regardless of the status of our manpower. I do kind of want to watch this happen. This taxi's going to get destroyed, though. I should have disconnected it from the fleet before initiating. Well, you know, it's certainly an error. It's alright, our resources are not spread as thin as they once were. We will be able to just build some more, even with the fancy engines. Also, man, they really, really got the read on where my taxi was going to be. The good news is, I think it's extremely likely that we win this battle in a very resounding fashion. This cross-flotilla shenanigans stuff that they love to pull doesn't work so well when you're equipped with laser weaponry. Just blow up anything at any distance. This is taking a little bit longer than I would like. I guess they're not at close range yet. I am noticing that some of our fire is being sent off in the wrong direction here. You can probably ignore that. That's under control. Yeah, they're at close range now. The kite's got that one. Okay, easy enough. I like the fact that larges can actually shoot forward, though. Some, break the paradigm of the firing arcs and the lanes and stuff a little bit. I mean, we still need the manpower, though. Here on Vega, I'm gonna build us a new taxi. We're just gonna eat all of the antimatter. Over here, we have a frigate and a schooner. Let's have the military behemoth engage that. Alright, so we just need to cause one more retreat in order to get back up to the highest level of approval. Or win a ground battle, I guess. That would also work. Let's try that. Well, they managed to hold out. In fact, they did considerably better this round than they did last round, which is strange. You know, there's some randomness involved. There's a little bit of variance. So this is pretty great for our research time. Mr. Havanen needs to continue to get us valuable luxury resources, because it's the only way we're going to keep repairing and upgrading our ships at the rate that we need to. So now the question is, what do we do with this eagle? We could pull it back to Volan's. Yeah, let's go to Murgashi. I'm gonna try to disable any remaining what do you call it? Any remaining Lumeris resistance here. Sorry, did you stop halfway through a wormhole? I didn't even realize that was possible. I thought wormholes always took you exactly where they were going immediately, but it cost all your movement every time. That's, that's interesting. Alright, on Galter, I was thinking about building an eagle, but now we don't have the resources anymore. And to be perfectly honest, we don't really need other ships that badly. This stuff is of limited value here. Obviously, I don't really need the titanium. We could make an economic behemoth. That's interesting. It says that the economic behemoth costs 8 adamantium, but it's not. That apparently is not going to stop me from building it. Because we can just pull this. We don't actually need it to have that good probe. I think the plan with this thing is going to be that it becomes a citadel around an important system, right? Let's just put like a normal mining probe in there, which we totally might use. And then get to building that. We should definitely do this, because like the Cravers are going to, at some point, try to blow up some of our stuff. Right? That's going to happen. So we should maybe have more than one citadel engaged. Probably the capital should get citadeled. Over here on Bonnie, where we're not quite as good at building stuff. Get the science going. We really should be specialized here. We have no anomalies at all. This is not particularly great here. Still, though, it's an industry boost, so it should be built early. And then we'll go ahead and put a bunch of this stuff together. We're already almost positive on influence again. This ground battle's going as well as it can be expected to. These guys still need to get a little bit of help. We're probably going to have to turn this kite around and have it we just need a little something over here. Also, it's remarkable how quickly the population of Alioth is growing, even while it's under siege. Alright, so we're actually going to pull the population there.
We despise you more than most.
I think we're just going to keep blitzing here. Hold on, let me make sure. Okay, yeah. There are no ships in the air that could be providing support or anything. They're bringing in, honestly, not that big of a fleet. A fleet that is unlikely to be successful in pushing us out. Alright, a minor victory that time. Our victories are getting less valuable. We are burning their population quickly, though. And modify our battle tactics, which I just, like, extremely don't care about. We probably don't really need the honeycomb scope here. Yeah, it seems like it's of limited value. So we can start building kites and stuff again. We could build another fleet of kestrels. Actually, you know what? We kind of need another fleet of kestrels, right? For up north. North, you know what I mean. Let's queue up 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them, and then also we'll put a taxi on the end of that to help them arrive. Okay, over here we're getting attacked by... This is bad. This is a bad plan. I mean, I'm glad I left something on guard. Well, 1.2k still does push us to over 85%. And we get to do this. I'm not that worried about this outpost. In fact, I'd almost rather they go ahead and finish settling. So yeah, why don't you just come back here? I'd rather they finish settling and then we just take this from them. And then here... We're certainly not sieging them very quickly. But let's not drop until this eagle arrives. May as well go at it with our full force. And then here on Vega we actually we have really a ton of stuff left to build. It's remarkable how much stuff we have left to build. Alright, so hopefully Alioth falls within the next couple of turns. Zorax should be any moment now, unless it never falls, which I guess is also a possibility, given how well they seem to be doing against our troops all of a sudden. I mean, a significant part of that is their defensive improvements that we don't really have any way of removing on purpose, right? It's just kind of... There's no version of this that isn't just a series of die rolls. Where's this guy going? Headed that way? Okay, the frigates will get... actually, no, this is a single kite. The frigates will not get blown up over here. They will totally get through. How do I want to deal with that? Do I just let them over to Zubin? They might drop on it if they get over here. We do have defensive structures in place, although the defense pool on the system is not good. I wonder if we might have to pull some bodies. Okay, this is a full 20 command points with actual frigates and everything. Oh, we were so incredibly close there. Well, we have enough manpower to do another full-strength blitz. Unfortunately, it's not going to matter much if our fleet gets pushed off, because we'll lose all of our manpower deployment limit improvements. So we have to make sure that we don't get pushed out there. This is not terribly good, but also it's actually free, so may as well get it. When I say free, I mean in terms of upkeep. The only reason you don't necessarily want to build everything in every place, the only reason you might not want to, is that you can eventually run into money problems. That's really not an issue with any building that produces dust, though. This is... yeah, it's okay here. Let's definitely get that built. May as well build all the industry improvements, right? I think we're almost out of the woods. Like, what I really need is for this not to end in tragedy, and then to be able to combine some of this stuff over here. Okay, so we're actually almost at full manpower. They only have 1,000, but like, only 1,000 is going to turn out to be an infinite amount of time resisting our attacks, right? Like we're seeing at Zorak. And what we don't have is enough manpower here to really cram the victory through. So I think we're going to have to get over here and engage in some bombing, which is not ideal in large part because of the slowness of it. Right, like we have enough manpower to do one blitz, but they'll just conscript and hit us with 2,000 manpower of their own. So we kind of need some bombing to get rid of some of the important defensive improvements, which we did not do here. Like I said, unfortunately, there's no way to control any of that. It's just extremely random. So do we want to engage with these guys? Unfortunately, I cannot squad up the behemoth, but I guess I can roll these two fleets together. So yeah, we do in fact just want to wait one turn. If they're not going to attack me, let's just take advantage. The Illo have gotten to 10 population, I guess, finally, which is cool. That does remind me that I need to come in here and do this. So thank you, Illo. Yep, so next turn we'll have another eagle around Volan's. This guy probably just has to not be here. This would be the safest way to go. Yeah, but they can't turn around in the space lane. We'll be fine going to Gobris. Alright, so you guys... Yep, I'll just sit here. And that's actually all 5 of the the armies that still need orders. So, press the button. Hold these two together as quickly as possible. We should be at 20 command points. No, 22 even. Remember, Universal Aerodynamics gives you 2 command points for each ship design that you have available. For each base hull type, rather. Well, you're in here as well, I guess. And I suppose let's run them off, because, let's be honest, they're not going to stand and fight. Apparently we've unlocked a new a new tactics slot, but we can't do anything with it while there's a space battle going on. Let's merge these two up. Start this fight. Being attacked at Bonnie by a bunch of needles. Alright, ground invasions. Here at Zorak, we just do this again, right? Here at Alioth, we keep bombing for the moment, because we really do have to get rid of, yeah, this kind of stuff. So we could start construction of another eagle. Probably we need a taxi more, though, right? Do we need it down here? Ah, that's right. We need it here. I guess if that's going to take another turn to build, we may as well build it here. Where else? Lahat is kind of near trouble, but not so terribly much, I guess. We probably just have building time over here. Keep improving our ability to improve our ships and stuff. There's 4 population units on the way here, so we are going to need another world. Alright, let's start in with the battles. These are the Sophons we are technically friends with, although they don't always act like it. Here we just run that guy off. And then we have Adam, right? We got a ton of manpower. Yeah, here I think we can go for brute force. It does seem like we never get lucky and destroy the important improvements with Blitz. We get stuff. It's just not the stuff we really need to get. Be over here when the intruder arrives on Kura. Okay, here with the needles, I think we can take them with the military behemoth now. We ran from a similar battle before, but it's in part because our behemoth was really damaged. Although, if we go for this, we're gonna get that firing arc thing, where the military behemoth just doesn't get to engage in combat with most of them. So maybe that would actually be a good situation for a retreat. I guess let's resolve this first, because it's almost certainly just going to be them fleeing. So that's not the button I wanted. I wanted this one. We don't really want to run a kite over here. And I mean, we'll watch it if they let us do it. I suspect this is going to be a retreat. Yeah. The level of cowardice we are experiencing from these guys is just... It's embarrassing, is what it is. Alright, we have you to engage on their behemoth. I wish it wouldn't pretend that there was any chance of a fight there. It's like, ooh, I don't know, let me really think about this. Alright, then... I think we survive. With 67,000 health, even with this having all of the characteristics of a terribly unfair fight, I think the behemoth survives it. And then we can just run away afterward. Well, at least they're going to lose their extra flotilla damage bonus immediately. And the other good news here is that we're going to be able to shoot at them the whole time, even though we are not going to be doing great damage. So we will still take out some of them. They're doing damage to the behemoth much faster than I would have thought, though. And it is, unfortunately, spreading its damage out over them in a way that's very inefficient. Never mind. Apparently, it's just going to kill them all. They didn't quite get the firing arc thing that they needed there. So that's embarrassing for them. 3.3 feels a little bit low. I guess the battle did go down quite easily. Do we have anybody available to shoot at this revealer? It has 98 damage. I mean, the fleet of Kestrels is terrible, but there's so many of them. They can definitely make this thing run away, at least. We do not need to watch this. Okay, we may want to spend some K before resolving any ground battles on this next turn. Okay, we're gonna quickly mash the button. I want that ship to get to Kurha. Actually, we can just do this. I can just right-click on Kurha a bunch. I'm gonna get here and get in guard mode so that we can catch that ship fleeing from Volan's. Also, get out of here with all this civilian nonsense. We actually have a ton of dust. Should probably figure out something useful to do with all of this. Alright, so you have 11 move. I think it makes sense for the taxi to just come in here and pick these guys up rather than having them meet at Garuda. Okay, so we have a couple of battles here that may resolve, that may end in victory. How do I want to spend this this KE? Changing this to Fealty Foundation probably makes sense.
We don't care what you think. We destroy.
So he knows that we're at war with other players. I think he maybe hasn't figured out where all of our ships are.
Don't care what you.
Because we're not really out of position to fight him. I think we could probably handle it. Okay, that single schooner gets attacked by the behemoth. It's wounded enough that it will fight, so I want to go at it with fewer combat points, or fewer control points, so that we get a little bit more KE out of it. That was actually not very much. The ships are too embarrassing for me, too embarrassingly weak for me to feel good fighting them, which is a real shame. Alright, so here at Zorak, we can't actually apply full manpower with the Blitz. And Zorak is actually back at perfect manpower. We're not getting full value on Gorilla, even. I guess let's just bomb them. Okay, we got tractable armaments, finally. Here on Alioth, we still haven't destroyed a lot of their defensive improvements, so probably continued bombing here. A pretty major victory, though. And then over on Volans, I think here we're just putting in the manpower. So did they... No, they drafted. It just wasn't enough. Man, if only that had happened, like, at all, over in this other place that we're invading, when it got super low on manpower. Alright, so that's resolved. We need to refill this fleet, and then it's on to Mrigashi. Or this pair of fleets, rather. And we can merge the oncoming Kestrel fleet with the Taxi with these two ships. And get back up to the command point limit there. So, I mean, it's all coming along. It's just coming along a little slower than I would like. So here's the question now. Do we want to build the Citadel here at Galter? Because Galter is valuable, or do we... Yeah, we probably want to take it to the capital. You're going to be in the air for a while, but that's fine. We probably don't need tractable armaments here. Honeycomb Scope does effectively nothing, but it also costs basically nothing at this point in the game. We can keep making kites, I guess. God, our industry output is so high here. 639. So if you're wondering why this is only one turn, it's because we have a considerable amount of industry overflow from just building a taxi last turn. Yeah, build me a couple more kites. I mean, we should keep expanding the Air Force. We're certainly not getting anywhere near the limit of our ability to pay for it. And we do need to also have defensive forces in position around the new systems that we're taking over. What else do we want to build here? I mean, I suppose it's not actually zero value to get the titanium. And building more ships here... I don't know, it doesn't feel super necessary. I guess we're still not getting these systems as quickly as I would like, but we're also, like... The problem we're having is not one of not having enough manpower. It's not having the ability to commit all of the manpower at the same time. This fleet still has quite a bit of manpower, so let's go and take Gobris. Now that they've finished their colony. This should be pretty straightforward. It's a little bit less hassle than just founding it ourselves, right? So there is psychoactive air here. Not totally ideal. Also not the kind of thing that I think we want to bother trying to fix right this second. So this actually seems like a good thing to spend our dust on. Let's just get established here, shall we? It's true, we have taken control of the Academy. I almost never actually use the feature of the Academy that lets you see where all the heroes are, because in a lot of ways it just doesn't matter, you know? Alright, Volans, which is also ours, needs to rebuild some of the things that we destroyed during the long bombing campaign. That's, you know, that's our bad. Sorry, everybody. You could have just surrendered when we showed up, though. Not that I'm trying to blame you. I'm just saying there were actions you could have taken that would have led to a lot less of all of your stuff getting blown up. Alright, come on, show me some invasion progress over here. Red is not close to achieving a conquest victory. That's just a bald-faced lie. Boy, we sure are destroying a lot of improvements. A lot of the same improvements over and over again as they get rebuilt. Obviously, this fleet is going to be no match for us. We should, I suppose, get some more bodies over here. Apparently, this is all happening. Not really something I have much interest in. Okay. Truces were refused. There's a lot of stuff going on, but, like, none of it matters to us. And our allies are making a lot of noises, but they're not... We all know they're not going to do anything about it, so... Who cares? It could improve the influence output of that system. Yeah, improving Galter's influence output is reasonable. Right, it's almost reached out to grab this. And, yeah, there's a lot of room beyond Galter for there to be stuff out here. Who knows? Maybe there will actually be some stuff. We should probably actually also build a honeycomb scope. A little bit of extra vision coming out of there would be nice. So let's run these guys off. Yeah, I don't know why you would even show up with a fleet this size. Now that they're gone, we can continue the bombing. Actually, they're at only 90 manpower right now, and we did just destroy their tractable armaments. So maybe this is a good time to like really put the boots in. Nope, we managed to leave one enemy unit alive during the attack. Ugh. The non-Tikkanen citizens are doing, I mean, whatever. We will reach that amount of manpower. It will happen. Do the version of this quest that doesn't require me to put any effort in. You know how I feel about effort. Okay, we are... I mean, it probably makes sense to keep building ships. Part of the problem here is I haven't really left myself a lot of ability to build anything else. We haven't researched a new building that we could put together that would actually help us in quite some time. Okay, so here we have kind of a real fleet, except it's all beat up because it just retreated. So... our big fleet here is actually at full health. I mean... let's make sure we do this in a sensible way, because it is going to matter a little bit. Honestly, that's sensible enough, and we don't have to watch this, I don't think. It's pretty obvious what's going to happen here. This will be good K for us, probably. We did lose one kite. And almost a taxi. And I mean, the kite is not an insignificant amount of manpower, right? That does matter a little bit. Obviously, our behemoth will be massively successful here, except that, in fact, what's going to happen is they'll retreat. But we're back over the K threshold for the highest approval level. How are we doing on manpower? Looks like we need to hang out around Volans for one more turn. We really generate a lot of manpower very quickly. I know we're also constantly spending it very, very quickly, but I think on the whole things are going pretty well. So over here, for some reason the Sophons are allowed to just have a ship floating, even though they really probably should be destroyed. Well, I mean, I'm not going to complain too loudly about my allies getting to give us vision for free when they really should not. I should probably actually spend some KE, huh? At the very least, Way of the Obsidian Eagle could be useful. Probably don't actually need it in the home region, though. What might actually be good is to get the behemoth over here, one of the behemoths over here, and activate it over here.
You have to be pretty up.
Like, we're getting constant messages from our allies about the wars not going their way, but first of all, there's nothing I can do for a lot of them, and secondly, for the Sophons, like, I am helping. I've helped quite a lot. We negotiated them out of war with the player who is actually stomping on them, and, like, those messages just they're not context aware enough. I guess that's a persistent problem in these games, right? It's a complicated board state, and it's hard to get the AI to understand it. Alright, so we really need more antimatter. We're at the point now where antimatter is the bottleneck on almost everything. Is there... Okay, there's a lot of antimatter available on the market, though. Let's buy, like... Not 40, sorry. Let's buy, like, a whole lot. In a couple of places we can just start putting the microwave pipes together. Not here, probably. Yeah, here we have other stuff to do yet. Yeah, it's not great, but... We have a modernization available. Where do we need to modernize? We could go to Colony 3 around, like, Zubin or Vega? Zubin might be a good place for this, actually. Yeah, it even still benefits from the food a little bit. Alright, so we've got some ground battles that are continuing. Just gonna keep bombing the heck out of Zorak. We're gonna blitz this one more time, yeah, because they really didn't have any manpower left. So Alioth has been recaptured, is now owned once again by its rightful owners. Can merge these guys up before the attack. Now, unfortunately, because this is not within my sphere of influence, it's possible for enemies to retreat in that direction. Alright, this put us over the KE cap. So the question is, do I send these guys this way to catch those stragglers? Or do we just accept that they're going to be running around? I kind of don't want to leave Alioth, right? Because this is how we got into trouble last time, leaving Alioth before it had regenerated a garrison. The good news is we didn't manage to destroy the tractable armaments, so they're still up. They still exist in here. I guess Alioth 1 is probably the best place to keep people. And then 4, actually. I mean, once interplanetary transport systems, or yeah, network systems, whatever, is up, this is actually where we want to keep people, right? 6634 as opposed to 6614. You guys would like to be on a fertile world, which is just kind of too bad. Between these two, people should be over here, I guess. Okay. So we probably need to just leave this fleet here. So that we don't have, like, that first fleet that we chased off that ran up this way doesn't come back and re-invade the system. Let's wait for the other Eagle and Kite to arrive. And we need to spend some... I guess we don't have to spend right now. We can wait until next turn. We're not going to get any KE between the turns. Although it probably makes sense to spend, like... Yeah, let's do this. Let's drop this on this behemoth. I don't know what makes the Lumeris think that this is a thing that's okay. Get out of here. Get back over the wormhole. So we definitely can't pull this guy away from Bonnie, not until we have something to replace him. We don't have a ton of industry on Kurhas, or on Gobris, rather. So a percentage industry boost is probably not totally ideal. But it's probably more important for this to be here than anywhere else, I think. Because a lot of our systems that would benefit more from it also don't need it that badly. I mean, I guess here's the reinforcements. Here's what we're replacing that behemoth with. It's just a whole ton of kites. It's the only thing that matters. So yeah, we'll pop all these out and send them to Bonnie, and once they arrive, then maybe we can talk about figuring out something else for that behemoth. Okay, like I said, we're going to do that. That's just going to happen. Not something we have to think about. Continue bombing Zorak, because at this point there's no reason to pick anything else. They've almost run out of population. They also are rebuilding all of their geo-industrial infrastructure every single turn. And we are just, again, destroying it every single turn. Oh, hey, apparently there's a curiosity... Oh, right, the remains of the huge space battle we fought here. It turns out it was full of... Well, maybe full of is a little bit of a broad description given how much dust that was. It turns out there was a small amount of dust floating nearby. Wait a minute, huh? What? What on earth? Get back over here. What was that? I was trying to click attack with these guys to run Horatio's ship off. I'm not super clear on why this fleet decided that it needed to move somewhere else all of a sudden. Oh, apparently it thought I clicked auto explore, which is Obviously, not something that happened. Not something I meant to do. It's maybe a better way to put that. At this point, we have pretty much everything that's actually useful, right? We get a little bit more influence out of his system. We could lower his upkeep very slightly. Yeah, sure. Influence is something. It also does some stuff about troop health, which I honestly did not realize, but also doesn't matter. Alright, so are we... I think we are in a good place to drop this invasion, right? 4.3k, yeah, we have a ton of manpower. We also have a variety of blue ships that are showing up one by one, just to annoy me. Okay, yeah, with this level of manpower, I think we want to blitz again. So just the hard blitz seems to work out pretty well some of the time. Other times, you just, like this, you just run out of gas despite the fact that your numbers are vastly superior. And there doesn't seem to really be a way to know which kind of time you're going to have with it. So I guess that's a bit of risk that is inherent to this strategy as well. We have enough... We have enough adamantine to do this in one place. It should definitely be Yisel first. Here in Oyad. Can we buy adamantine? There's not a lot of adamantine on the market. Right now it would be pretty expensive to buy it out, although we can certainly afford to spend a little bit. So it's going to be 4 turns before we have enough hydromiel to do the thing here anyway. Which means that actually we can just sell all of that stuff. So actually we're just going to microwave pipes all of these things. Oh, I ran out of antimatter. Weird. Not the problem we've been having. Okay. Think of all the resources, man. So you probably have to stay put until the kites show up. I don't want anything getting through. Here we have to stay put while we wait for the garrison to rebuild a little bit. Yep, I guess just a lot of waiting is going on here. We are actively mining quadronics now, so that's, first of all, potentially worth a lot of money, and secondly, something we can make cool weapons out of eventually. We do actually have to, like, do some more research. And although we've been trying hard to catch up on science, we're still pretty behind on research speed. When Galter finishes its microwave pipes, we're probably going to have to build another ship or two. Definitely just keeping the militarists in charge. We're making very, very good use of some of these laws. Also, this one obviously is pretty good, 33% troop damage. I think we are going to... We're going to cut lower fleet costs for that, which means we're going to go negative on approval, or negative on influence for a little while. It's alright, we'll fix it. But I definitely want 33% troop damage. Yeah, we're only minus 425. That is extremely fixable. Let's do a little bit more bombing here at Zorak. And then a little bit more blitzing here at Murgashi. We're getting there, and it looks like Zorak finally fell. They just ran out of population. It is a shame that we had to do it that way. We've gained control over Antalya, which is this this constellation here that's a little closer to the center. Just managed to carve off enough of it. So that was 4.3. We are actually Okay, capped. Right, I gotta remember to keep spending, man. Let us... Probably... It makes sense to put together a fealty foundation in here somewhere. It looks like it doesn't really matter which planet we do it on. Because Dobrynia is going to be a little bit of a forward staging post kind of thing. We probably should not leave. Also, we need you guys to come back. Alright, there we go. Now we're feeling tough. So yeah, this is terrible. We definitely need the food. Yeah, let's rush the drone networks. It is unacceptable for that to take 4 turns. And also this, because yeah, this is straight up 50 industry. With all of the planets colonized already and one of them being fertile. Okay, hopefully that system will recover pretty quickly. Dobrynia is not close enough to full for me to want to send population over to Zorak from there. It's the same thing about Alioth. Lahat still doesn't even have all of its planets, although I guess it's not terribly important because population's still growing here. And this is exactly why we didn't move away. Yeah, I mean, like, Blue has a lot of ships, but he is not good at using them. Oh, hey, it's the photobomber. Well, I'm pretty sure we can't interact with him, because I don't think I am on this quest. I think I didn't participate enough in the other parts of it to matter here. Predictive logistics is not awesome just yet. But I guess we need it. We'll colonize the rest of these planets soon. Shortly, you know? We have other fish to fry at the moment. So here, we are really not producing population very quickly. We don't, I think, need to worry about colonizing Bonnie 3, except for the resources it would give. No, I think we're fine. Let's go ahead and build some influence buildings, though. We're going to need to make sure we build those everywhere, because we're actually having a problem now. And once again, just a huge number of small ships. I don't understand this strategy at all. He's just not... You know, he doesn't have a lot of territory. We can see all of his resources, too. So maybe the problem is just that he doesn't actually have the resources to build larger ship hulls. Oh, he stood and fought that, too. Weird.
We don't care what you think.
He says he doesn't care what I think, but he also said please. That message was a real please stop attacking us, you know? Hard for me to believe he doesn't care at all what I think. So we're currently minus 604 on influence. We won't be able to hold this forever, but if we can get back to maxed out K, we should see a pretty sharp spike, because not only do you get extra influence as one of the resources for being happier, but we have a bunch of buildings that just have a higher payout when you are at the highest level of approval. So hopefully those will come through for us here. The Harashims have arrived. They give +3 food on sterile, so actually they are just plain more effective over here. They produce the same amount of food, but a considerably larger amount of other stuff. And then get those done. And by then we'll probably need this. Okay, here on Rogashi, we're just going to blitz the heck out of it. They have basically no manpower left. I do like this thing where we're able to take a system while it still has population. That's handy. We did destroy 7 improvements on that round, so that's a little awkward. Because we actually really want some of these. Another source of antimatter is extremely welcome, though. Rush that, and then honestly go straight into these. We just need...
We don't care.
We need lots and lots and lots of resources incoming. That is not at all what I should have clicked. There we go. Alright, so here on Galter, it is still the case that we really don't need anything. We can just build ships. But we also... Like, how many more ships do we need to push this front? I suppose we need somebody to sit watch at Alioth so that this fleet can move on and do important things. Yeah, that would not be bad. And our fleet is still mostly kites, which means that I think a lot of our enemies are not teching their ships well. Right, like we're seeing a lot of bullet defenses in cases where like all of the dangerous ships are actually using totally laser weapons. We've almost fully converted to laser weapons, but because kites are the most common ship in the fleet, the enemy gets all confused. Or the most common, yeah, in the fleet. In all of our fleets together as a whole unit. Alright, well you gotta imagine they're gonna run away on this. Let's move this damaged taxi over to this flotilla. Just in case they do go crazy and decide to stand and fight. We can probably send the military behemoth on ahead, right? I want these guys to stick around a little bit until they have finished replenishing their manpower. Or maybe the behemoth sticks around because we want it to still be here when they leave. Yeah, okay. Let's do it that way for now. Yeah, we still have a lot of stuff to build. Maybe we need to prioritize the influence buildings a little bit higher there. We certainly can't be hemorrhaging 640 influence per turn. Yeah, you know what? Let's do that. Let's do this. 148 is still a little bit slower than I'd like. Okay, several of the kites have arrived, so let's merge you up and send our military behemoth out to make some havoc occur. I want to have the behemoth over here so that we can take advantage of KE abilities and stuff. The KE aura abilities. Are we actually refilling our manpower? We are not, but we have a ton of manpower left over, and we have the Kestrels incoming, so I think I'm gonna just tell everybody to get to Echius. We're not defending Rigashi at all, but also I mean, Red is the only one who's likely to be able to threaten us about it, and if they do so, there will be consequences. Very, very serious consequences. I don't know how to explain that to them in a way that's going to stick, unfortunately. Alright, it looks like this fleet may actually refill all the way off of this turn. And if they do, then there's no reason for us not to just go to Corvus. Right, we're actually gonna take blue out of the game pretty soon. Both blue players, in fact. So the Lumeris no longer have any staging ground over here at all. We are getting close to a conquest victory. For once, you're right. Definitely increase the manpower refill rate on your fleet. Okay, so let's merge you up so you have lots of movement as well. And this should be fairly devastating. Wow, we're actually going to be able to drop 4,000 manpower on this in a single attack. Apparently we have enough Cravers in our empire now to be getting the Craver population quest. Not going to worry about it. Yeah, let's just go ahead and drop 5,200 manpower worth of tanks on them. Let's see how that goes. They don't even have planes yet. They're really, really far behind. You know, just a minor victory. We lost almost nothing. We took almost all their stuff. And we have enough manpower to do it several more times. And we got rid of 2 of their defensive structures. This should be very, very fast. Oh, yeah, I guess you could be in guard mode. That would be okay. So, I mean, although this battle is completely trivial... Oh, actually, he had enough health to retreat. Okay. I was going to say, although this battle is completely trivial, I'd be very surprised if we got 10k for it. Or, I was wondering if we would get 10k for it, because it's Behemoth versus Behemoth, same command points and everything. With only 2.3k, I think we could probably stick around one more turn. We need to finish refilling. Alioth needs to get defended by somebody else so that we can send this fleet forward. How many turns are we talking about from here to Justium? Or from Corvus? This is probably first, right? I guess, actually, if we go for Justium first, we don't have to worry about Justium firing back on Zorak and Dobrinya and stuff as we're working. And then once we move on to Corvus, this will be the bottleneck for the rest of their systems. So yeah, I'm just going to move on now. Hopefully this isn't going to turn around and bite us. Alioth has plenty of defenses in place. Should be fine. And it's a little bit more converted than it was last time. Last time it was like the population there didn't even want to keep being in our empire against their will, which is crazy. Absurd to think about, but... We're now pulling in 4 antimatter per turn. Still pretty sad. I guess let's build an eagle. And here... Boy, I don't know. I guess some more kites. You can never have enough kites. My current theory. Or current philosophy. We can get one more level of system development. We still don't have trade companies. At this point, it would take too long for them to grow for it to be meaningful. Let's just increase troop damage. Right? The problem here is that our troops are not dealing enough damage. We're actually making, like, really, really good headway, though. I think we're getting this done quite a bit faster in terms of actual turns spent than we would be if we were following a sieging strategy. It is not taking much of a shorter time in terms of real-world minutes, though. We're having fewer turns where I just, like, click end turn and wait for the numbers to decrease. So it seems like this strategy, it does not come online as early as the other strategies that we've had access to. This should be a blowout. Right, we had like 15 times their manpower. So we're going to be able to eliminate the Unfallen from the game really quickly here. So we'll keep the Behemoth in place around Echius, and we'll move everything else over to Izar, I guess. I don't think it really matters what way we do this. Actually, Vorta... If we take Vorta... Is that really the fastest way? Oh, you know what? Because traveling along the path where the routes are is artificially slowed. I guess let's go ahead and take Izar first, then. I was going to say, I like the shape of take Vorta than take Izar a lot more in terms of dealing with the eventual Craver problem. But that's maybe no longer true. We'll get Izar and then we'll cross a relatively short space lane to get Vorta. It won't be slow to get there anymore by the time we do that because there won't be routes here. Yeah. Xeno-industrial infrastructure should be very strong here. the loss of moving over to this planet is pretty low. Well, maybe that's not true. Okay, these guys definitely want to move. The sisters can move. They probably keep the Unfallen here as just food batteries. Yeah, I think that makes sense. So that'll keep that system growing quickly for a while. Our Empire population is really ridiculous. I think we're going to let the red guys stand for the moment.
You lead well, comrade.
You've proved yourself as useful as my thirdborn and equally unexpendable. The Empire tolerates our alliance. That was, it's a really mixed message there, man. Okay, these guys are not actually stopping on Dobrynia. They're on their way to Corvus, but unfortunately for them, they're on their way via the now blockaded Justium. It's good enough for me on the manpower. Once again, we will just leave the behemoth behind. This side of the conquering may take a little bit while longer. Just an awful lot of manpower in total over here. Also, I don't know how Dominic Havenin is the one who's getting all the levels. I feel like we're not really building anything of value on Galter anymore. I guess we don't really need guards on Bonnie, do we? Now that we hold Echius, it makes more sense to move, to move all the guards just up to Echius. This is where the bottleneck is. Alright. I'm hoping that we can end the episode having removed both of the blue players from the game. This may take a little bit longer than I would like. But I'm digging this strategy as a whole. I think we're certainly proving something here, although obviously you would like for the strategy to really come online, come into its own, prior to turn 100 or so. So I would really recommend that if you try this, or when I try this again in the future, we gotta put a little bit more effort into the science part of it. Let's keep that rolling forever. We are at 41 Lumeris. Unfortunately, the 50-point Lumeris bonus has no value. Okay, and apparently we're going to have to blow these guys up. Hold on, we can swap some stuff up here. No, never mind. They're coming to us. Okay, that'll work. We should swap some stuff up here, though. We gotta take out the really damaged taxi. Well, maybe we don't have to do that, but I will swap one of the kites over into that fleet. Then I guess you guys are guarding the Kestrels. Okay. Well, come what may, we are ready for them. Now let's run this dude off. And we're in position to just keep pushing, right? Like we aren't actually spending that much manpower per battle. So we can keep this up all day.
How's it going?
We don't care.
I really love the fact that the Sophons are at least occasionally going, oh, you guys need help. Well, I would love to. Even though we don't. And they're still, like, we're still having that situational awareness problem. But at least the Lumeris interpret it in a way that's helpful to me instead of demanding things from me 100% of the time. We could wait until Ultra Tough Materials to actually drop this. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. We'll wait one turn here. Just so that we have really maximum firepower. What makes sense to do next on Galter? Eagle and then Taxi, probably. Just building another whole fleet. Send these guys as far as Alioth to wait for orders. And this is okay here. We should probably focus on influence stuff, because we're actually about to run out of influence. And if we're going to apply a big system upgrade, like a place like this makes more sense. Okay, you guys should be in guard mode. We discovered a crappy ship and the design for the analytical engine, which is fine. You know, it's not like we need the dust, but it is okay. Hey, Positron, you... I don't know, go to Izar, something. I don't really need that thing, obviously. Is there any place else that needs... Yeah, turns out we actually still have a lot of exploring to do on our allies' behalves, because they cannot be bothered to learn about science. How is that? Ah, it has finally arrived. Well, I'm starting to think that the Citadel is less necessary than I thought it was before. We're going to let this guy sit for a turn. This kite can head up this way. We're going to have really, just like a very overwhelming force to start in on these Cravers with. And then, you know, the question is, what is the victory type that we are actually pursuing? Because we're working toward both Supremacy and Conquest. We're making pretty good progress on Conquest, but we also have a long way to go. We're about to be at 6 home systems. Right, Izar is 1. It shouldn't take us that long to get through Red. Where's the Vigyani home system? It's up here somewhere, right? I actually don't see it. Unless it's here. Okay, maybe we're closer to more home systems than I thought. Okay, so we're probably going to have to drop our really powerful new law. At least for a while, until we finish getting our influence sorted out. It's weird to have to think about it, frankly. After we've spent so much time in this game doing the opposite. But I'm actually going to move these kites up to Mragashi. I don't think we'll need their help for Izar and Vorta, and I do want to make sure that we have some kind of defense in place in case the Cravers decide to start in on us before I'm ready to start in on them. Kind of seems like the music is louder than normal. Kogawa Brightblade has been getting levels. Actually, we should probably, instead of taking this, get the critical hit chance and damage per level on our ships. His fleet is absolutely terrifying now. We have to destroy this ship. Apparently that one civilian vessel was going to stop us from dropping. This one might take a couple of swings. That's a lot of manpower. The good news is the amount of damage you do... Oh, did we... Hold on, did we actually win? Oh, no, they have... We did wipe out the manpower they put into the battle, but they have reserves. It seems like the more manpower you're applying to the battle, the more improvements you destroy, which I did not realize was the case. It makes sense that those things scale together. But we are really... We're tearing through their improvements very quickly.
Whatever that...
How? What would make you think that it would be an okay idea to threaten me in this circumstance? My ships are even, like, pretty close. Oh, I hit attack on the wrong fleet. Well, they might retreat here. But yeah, that was... It should really sort your fleets by military power. Like, you know, in the order that the order that your fleets would be attacked in should be the order they appear here in. Well, this could be an annoying loss of manpower. They have 15... Yeah, alright, do it like this. Here's hoping they just run away. Seems like they may be running. Nope, they fought. We didn't even really lose that much. Yeah, we lost 3 Kestrels there. Turns out the Eagle, man, I really thought they were gonna run. I didn't check watch because I was like, well, we'll watch the next battle when we do it correctly with our real fleet. We don't need to watch us fighting 2 frigates though. Oh, I should have spent K before doing that. Alright, well, I have reduced our invasion effectiveness by a little bit there by losing Kestrels. The good news is we have more ships that are not that far away from helping. You guys should all be headed to Dobrynia, really. No sense in stopping at Alioth. This is the bottleneck now. Oh, I mean, we got stuff to do. Let's keep pushing. Here, I'm wondering if maybe it's a good idea to do a couple rounds of bombing first, since we're not able to apply quite so much manpower. Justium has a fair amount of population. They also have 10 manpower worth of defense reserves, which is a little strange. You know what? With this much manpower to jam through, we can probably just blitz them out. Especially given how much damage our troops do now. Alright, we're going to Citadel up. So we're going to send all of this stuff to Mragashi. And then we'll have these fleets push through from Izar, and these ones from Mragashi. We'll be able to make a 2-pronged assault on the Cravers, which will hopefully keep them off balance. The system has 28 population. That one is 29. And we're getting closer to Senkagoja, which we care about, apparently, a whole heck of a lot. We do probably want to build this somewhere, but probably it's in the capital, right? It's because the capital is where we have all of our percentage multipliers, I think. If we have them anywhere, here is where. We really, really need a lot more resource income. I'm pretty much just going to keep building kites. Just overwhelm the enemy through sheer brute force. Sheer volume of kites. Turns out medium attack ships are pretty alright. Okay, so we've capped this out. We have another system development slot, although I'm not sure that we need it. We're already not getting everything to level 3. At this point, maybe it makes sense to just push up the military tree again. Actually, Obliterator blueprints make sense, right? Because if we're thinking that the way we end this is by capitals, then blowing up an enemy capital system or 2 would probably be a good idea. We don't want to have to actually go everywhere and take all of them. And the AI seems to be building fewer citadels this game than they built last game. I wonder if some of those citadels were like really late game constructions. I feel like we've gotten, even though we have taken a weirdly long time to get going here, we still are going faster than we were then. Alright, so this is just going to be a pair of blitzes. We're just going to have at them at maximum speed.
I shall defend the...
So this is a bug with the AI, by the way, the thing that we just saw there. They threaten you like they're going to ask for loot, and then they don't ask for loot, and then they get mad that you didn't give them the loot that they didn't ask for. Okay, looks like we're probably next turn on Izar, and then Vorda should fall very, very swiftly after. Okay, don't care about you. Are we at war now? Yeah. Okay, man.
Of the church, your action.
Yeah, that's fine. Listen, you do whatever you feel you have to do to get by in this world. Is this going to be 6 small ships? It sure is. The 16th revolution. Or, 16th redesign of these guys. Just learn how to make mediums, dude. Like, this is terrible for you. You should not have to put up with this. Well, I mean, you gotta give it to them. They stand and fight. I'm not sure that that's a thing that they should actually be proud of. Kind of seems like phenomenally, incredibly stupid. But they sure do stand and fight. So are we good? Yeah, we have everything building. We are researching. We could use maybe another military behemoth. Here on Justium, which we just claimed. We got to rebuild a little bit. We probably want like nobody on Ariga at first. We can refill Ariga from the planets that have food. And we lost our fancy troop damage thing. We'll bank some influence for a little while, and then we'll put it back on. It would have been helpful here, but it's not going to be make or break or anything. And also, apparently, whichever AI is actually on the photobomber quest has forgotten about it or just doesn't care or something. Alright, here we have some slightly better ships under the control of the Cravers. Notice again this support design with just the one bomber. I'm not sure what causes them to do this. It doesn't seem like it's terribly effective, though. It feels like they should care about that a little bit more, you know? Okay, we did, in fact, get build orders on everybody. So yeah, I think we can handle a two-front war. We're already fighting a two-front war, and both of those fronts are about to collapse. So fighting the Cravers and the Vignani at the same time shouldn't be an issue. Right, to continue to blitz, we only have about 8,500 more manpower. Yeah, I really like this thing where we capture the system with all of its population and stuff intact. This is nice. So we still have... Yeah, we still have, like, over 8k manpower. I see no reason to stop. That was 5.7k. We're actually getting a lot less K per battle, it seems like, or per ground battle, because of the fact that we're not grinding both of the armies into paste before the before things resolve. Alright, the second Kogo, our Bright Blade, is about to hit the really important skills. Probably we could get away with actually building some of these. I don't know that we need to, but I think we can. I'm going to build one of them, because we certainly have enough dust income right now. And I would like to be able to build another behemoth. Should we send some of these ships across to the other front? I mean, we have stuff on the way. Alright, they have a pretty serious fleet here. I mean, my actual combat fleet is also very serious. How are we doing on manpower? We are pretty close to full. Yeah, close enough. Take a swing at these guys. We can probably afford to move the behemoth up as well. They might fight us. We gotta make sure that this actually makes sense. Actually, yeah, this is exactly how I would have designed this. They might stand and fight. Nope, they are retreating toward Nakos. Okay. So yeah, we can use Corvus as our bottleneck now to move forward on it. And I see no reason not to just have at them immediately. Do I want to re-enable that law? Man, it's very expensive. Yeah, I think I really want this to be enabled for the initial punch. So this looks like it might be like 2 rounds, depending on their tactics. If they choose not to do a draft at any point, they're immediately done, right? Just have to hope that they, I don't know, don't realize that. That stuff does matter. This stuff matters more. And on Echius, same deal. Turns out we actually need a ton of influence generation. Like, really, really huge amounts of influence generation. I kind of feel like these values don't scale up over the course of the game in a way that, like, they obviously should. Like, there are values of influence. I'm having influence problems right now. There are values of influence I'd be very excited to receive. 50 is not one of them. That's going to be pretty strong here. And then we kind of got to get our industry under control. We got to rebuild the parts of this society that we blew up. Guess we can go to here. That's fine. The scout is only a rookie 3. I feel like he's been with us forever. Then again, like the average minutes per turn is the high-ish right now, so it feels like he's been with us forever in real time. It doesn't necessarily mean that he's been with us that long in the game. Because this double episode is obviously has been quite a while. You know, about double the normal time. Hasn't really been that many turns. Okay, we might get Corvus here. We might have to wait one more turn. It'd be really cool if we got it here. Okay, so we probably want to hit Nakos first. We need to leave them, the military behemoths behind to catch retreats. And yep, that is in fact the site of the Budyani home planet. So actually, it's going to be really easy to take them. Not much of value here. No military behemoths at all between all of these players, it seems like. And I will admit, ours have not been... they've not exactly been a revelation in terms of offensive power. But they are nice. They're nice to have. Oh, cool. We found a ship. Well, I mean, we have an open command point. I guess get in here. Wow, that civilian ship really wasn't carrying much. Okay, so they don't really have anything of value incoming. We don't need to be popping the Order of the Red Blade on them. Thinking about dropping Way of the Obsidian Eagle on this military behemoth. Because I don't really want to be in a position to pull it back. Obviously, it would be most effective if it was over here. We're about to get the ability to build a new behemoth, right? One turn off of that. Yeah, but I probably don't want to save this. I just want to activate it again after we get that. So for now, We'll just put it on Gobris. And this is more likely to be needed on fleets that are near the Cravers, I think, than fleets that are over on the Lumeris side. Okay, man, I just do not care about this quest at all. We'll take this version because that'll get done automatically. That'll get done, you know, just by the way we're doing stuff. Oh hey, these guys have actually sent their demand on us.
We destroy planets.
So,
And over.
all right, chatty.
Over.
I get it. So if we refuse, he's gonna quintuple our military ship cost. Obviously, I'm not okay with that. I guess I'll give you 1,000 dust. We can't declare on him for 10 turns is actually kind of annoying.
We don't care.
I will refuse to remove my ships from his territory. It's like, I'm shocked that he had the diplomatic pressure on us. We have a system inside of his influence, do we? Oh, Murgashi, I guess. Alright, well. We're gonna have to wait a couple of turns before we can declare war on that guy, which is a shame. So we get another Dominic Havanen. A Vadyani Counselor. I do like this skill, although unfortunately, obviously, she will not be the Senate leader. But a Valyani counselor as governor for a system is actually pretty good, I think. Riftborn Overseer is also strong-ish. Mechanical Genius is cool, obviously. Peer Review is great. I think I would rather have the Riftborn over their actual starting skills. I keep forgetting to look. +1 industry per citizen versus reduction in ship cost. Yeah, okay, let's take the Riftborn. And then we need a system that has a reasonable population but needs to do some rebuilding. Maybe not Volan's. Yeah, you know what? Murgashi is actually exactly the kind of place. Let's get some industry and some food going. We're definitely going to pick up Optimal Operations Expert as well. I don't know. The odds that this thing just gets destroyed are pretty good, but also I actually could not care less about it. So here on Yisel, I mean, we're going to need a taxi. We're creating an awful lot of ships down here. And we're just going to keep sending more and more stuff to the front. It's a lot of Cravers to kill out here. Also, wow, we have a lot of systems now. It's actually kind of a lot to manage. I do not want to turn on the auto governor AI, by the way. My impression is that it does things you really don't want it to do. Like building a fealty foundation, literally every time you have enough K to do that. Okay, so you guys need to just make a run for it. It's only going to take them 5 turns to get there. That's pretty good. Alright, and here on Corvus we have a ton of stuff to do. This is not great here. We won't worry about that just yet. So you guys should be in guard mode. We want to wait until this fleet arrives before we actually do the drop. Alright, I'm a little bummed out about our influence situation. I'm building the influence structures as quickly as I can, but The cost for our laws keeps going up because, first of all, we have so much food. We're having tons and tons of births. And secondly, we keep taking systems that have large amounts of population on them. So our law got cancelled. It's the only explanation for us suddenly being at positive influence. We're going to just re-enable the law here. And then we are going to do... That's not even the right button. Going to do what must be done. The way this is designed, there's basically no consequences for going going past your influence limits because you can just keep re-enabling the laws. Maybe not totally ideal. There are no strategic deposits in his system, we know that. Alright, what else do we need to do here? Galter... Galter could produce me another eagle. It looks like we have a little bit more pushing to do on this side. We do need to get another military behemoth up, which means we need to either buy a bunch of antimatter or we need to stop spending our antimatter. Oyad is the place where behemoths are cheap to make, right? A little under 5k versus... Yeah. Yep, that is a lower cost. Actually, this thing should probably at least wait for this kite. Alright, let's go to the marketplace and buy ourselves a little bit of antimatter. Definitely a thing you should be able to just go down to the store and buy. Okay, so we need another one of those coming because we're going to need to... You'll need to turn it into an obliterator. Never have enough obliterators, is what I've decided. Unfortunately, we will not be able to start the drop here this turn because we can't run off all of the enemy ships. But next turn, the rest of the fleet will arrive, and we will be all set. Okay, what do we have here? Fleet that we caused to retreat. They're actually going to have to fight us here, and we're probably going to get pretty close to the KE cap. The battle KE cap. Like, I think we're going to get 10 KE out of this, so we do need to spend something somewhere. Does Murgashi need a fealty foundation? Only one of the planets there is big enough for me to really feel good about it. Is there any place that needs one more? No, you know what? It's fine to do it here. We'll do it on Murgashi 4. It won't be totally optimal right away, but that is definitely a reasonable place to build one. And then we need a couple more techs from this tier. I suppose Juggernaut blueprints is okay. I'm thinking that, like, these techs aren't going to be that useful because we can rarely afford the resources to outfit with upgraded weapons. We could get... Yeah, let's get Juggernaut blueprints and... Projectile damage enhancer, energy damage enhancer... The energy damage enhancer is a little bit more attractive because we ended up making all of our good ships energy ships, but also it's made out of antimatter, which is very awkward for us. Get access to the core cracker, which just seems like an even worse thing now that obliterators exist. I don't know. Let's do this. I think we're more likely to be able to actually build that defensive module. Basically the only reason that I chose that. Alright, so we're going to do just another turn or two here. Oh, sure, we have a battle at Nakos, right. Because I was going to do a thing at Nakos. Well, I think this is the right setup. It would be a good idea to win this battle and then maybe drop some of our manpower on Nakos. We are not going to be able to actually end the battle, or end the blue players, rather. But we can at least start the invasion of the final Unfallen world. Definitely Blitz. Just pure overwhelming. That was actually a very good outcome. We did a lot of damage there. We destroyed their microwave pipes, though, which I don't feel great about, because now I'm going to have to rebuild those. We can probably take out the Unfallen. And man, as soon as we do that, we are ready to go after the Cravers, but we have to wait a little while before we can do so, which is super annoying. It was a good move on his part. Now let's level up all of our extremely greedy heroes here. Everybody always needs attention. Everybody always needs skill points. Can you guys not just, like, manage yourselves? I took hull plating absorption there, but honestly I don't know that that's going to be useful. I don't think it's going to matter. Yeah, even more eagles. Let's get some of this basic stuff in here as well. Turns out, never enough spaceships. We're just going to keep a constant conga line of dudes running north until we overwhelm the galaxy via sheer numbers, which actually isn't looking like it's that far off of a thing. Alright, here at Nakos, just blitz him again. Yeah, that was pretty easy. We've got enough manpower deployment limit boost that we're in a really good rhythm now. Yeah, it's just 3 needles. We can afford to attack with the fleet that is mostly Kestrels. No, we definitely need to have an actual warship in the middle flotilla, where they will all be. Hopefully this is the last group of ships that they can produce this turn, because I'd really love to get to all of this invading. They only have 1,100 manpower to resist us with. I mean, they have 450 in reserve. This is definitely going to be a turn or two. Oh, never mind. It looks like next turn is probably what it will be. So, we managed to get Nakos, like, right away. This economic behemoth is something that we are going to have to deal with. But it can't invade Nakos, because behemoths don't carry manpower, so... You know, maybe I don't have to deal with it. Maybe we can completely ignore it and just finish the thing we were doing. Yeah, let's have them head this way. This guy probably just goes to Corvus and waits there. Because I'm hoping that this other thing will be resolved by the time he would arrive. There's still curiosities that are locked to me. That's something we should probably solve at some point. Although obviously we're busy-ish right now. Okay, we have a military behemoth over here, right? If we wanted to turn it into an obliterator, which we really do, we would have to get to 25 Hyperium and 10 antimatter. Well, fortunately, those quantities actually do exist. Alright, let us begin the transformation, because I think we're gonna need this thing to accelerate the end a little bit. And I don't think we need it for defense anymore. The front over here is absolutely swarming with our ships. And our new planet of Nakos, yep, just needs a bunch of the basics. Although we did manage to take the planet without completely destroying the Xeno-industrial infrastructure, which is nice. Alright, let's do one more turn, because we're gonna probably get Vorta this turn. His video ended up being even longer than I thought it was gonna be. Even though I thought it was gonna be like very long. Oh, Vorta. Wait, what happened? Vorta's just the colony on Vorta's just gone. This ruined, blighted landscape was the stage of the most devastating campaign that took place during the invasion of Naviva by SB. I'm not 100% clear what happened there. Because that... this is actually an okay place to do modernization. This should have been the source of the root network now, right? This is the last system they had. How did they just disappear? Is there a button that does that? Are you allowed to just unmake yourself? Well, I suppose head back to Izar. Unfortunately, like I said, we're going to have to wait here a minute. How many turns off are we from being able to declare war on the Butcher now?
Will feast.
Says I can do this. I'm not supposed to be able to do that yet, right? And there's no point in declaring right this second, I guess. Although, you know, maybe we could get away with it. We certainly have a couple of ships in place. So when our obliterator becomes an obliterator, we'll just like nuke Fyrak. So what is it? It's Ingress, Vyrak, Juyin, which we actually could take manually, and Gaikon, which we probably will take manually. I'm a lot less worried about the pirates than I am about the blue guys. Yeah. Unfortunately for them, they have to stand and fight. Always now. I know I said one more turn, but let's do one more turn because we're going to be able to drop on Corum. We actually are going to be able to end both of the blue players in this video. Partially because one of them just evaporated. Really uncertain what occurred. So if we're focusing on capitals, we don't actually have to worry about taking over the system that the Unfallen ceased to be on. You don't really have to worry about very much other than just continuing to press this button. This wonderful, wonderful button. I don't know what the deal is with these pirates, but I suppose we can run them off. Like, it doesn't help us to have them here, certainly. And it's a little bit of K, a little bit of science, a little bit of dust, right? Okay. And we drop. Log keeps getting canceled. We'll just put that back on. And we drop. Now this is probably not going to be a single turn victory. It'll help to have the other eagle over here.
We don't care.
Just hanging up on him. They didn't actually declare, though, right? We're not at war? No. So what do their ships look like? they look like they're okay. So the Butcher 7 is using missiles. They've gone through a lot of revisions since then, though. I am seeing a lot of energy weapon armor, which sucks. Okay, so actually we need the kite to get into that, or the taxi rather, to get into that fleet. That's the fleet that needs to be fast. And we can't. Oh, we couldn't actually declare on them this turn anyway. Eastred has 33 people on it, 33 population. We should probably. Never mind. I was going to say we should probably make sure we're actually at full manpower in our fleet before moving in on them, but I guess we are, so let's go. Do I want to bring this double eagle fleet over here to embarrass these guys? You know, this fleet probably has it under control, actually. So yeah, let's declare. Let's have at them.
Soon we will feast. We are killing machine.
I'm definitely not supposed to be able to declare war on you, but I am allowed to, so here we go. Let's do it. Yeah, we definitely want to just keep turtling. They are using energy weapons in some of their ships. This fleet is all weird and random. I expect they're going to retreat here. Then we're going to take that, and then never mind. Then we're not going to do anything because that fleet is unable to move. Okay, and this is going to take us a minute to charge up, so that can just hang out. Is purple... Okay, yeah, purple is on our team. Not even an annihilator. What are you guys doing? Get out of here with that nonsense, too. Alright, so we probably want to wait until next turn to actually start invading Giestrad. Of course, we want everything in position. We're already dropped here. We probably do not need to build a fabrication license on this system. I'll leave you there until the taxi's finished. We really just, like, we need to develop some stuff that's worth building on some of these older, more developed systems, because at the moment we don't really have a lot of great plays. Alright, you guys need to go to Izar? Murgashi? Probably Murgashi. You already have the orders. Alright, let's see if we can finish off Quorum. Saying that would be a really clean stopping point. I will say this is a little disappointing in that I feel like the outcome is no longer in any kind of... There's no longer any kind of mystery at all here. Like, it's pretty clear that we're just going to continue to run through them. So I guess we could scoop out of this game and just start a new game. Try out some of the systems with other factions to see how they are affected. Merge up like that. Okay. For some reason... Oh, right. I can't drop because the drop already happened. We are already in mid-drop. And there we go. That is Quorum's fate. That is the Lumeris removed from the game, which is handy. So, if we're talking about victory by capital, we have the resources now to fire our space gun. Yeah, I'm just gonna do, like, right There's no reason not to do that. And then as soon as this thing is recharged, we fire at Virak, and then if it recharges again before we get to Julian, we fire at Julian. So we're probably... I mean, we're going to wrap this up next video. I guess we can just finish the game. But I have to be... I have to be honest. I appreciate the way that the existence of the Obliterator has taken some of the tedium out of the Supremacy victory. It is now like a thing that is actually worth going for. As opposed to before, when it was really kind of silly to ever do that, to ever even attempt it, because you could so much more easily just get a conquest victory. Now that you can destroy home systems, you don't actually have to fight everything individually. It's certainly better. But is it better enough, though? I don't know. You know, if we really want to get going quickly, what we should probably do is turn this guy into an Obliterator as well, which is not that hard to do. Because then we could be dropping missiles twice as frequently. We should probably do that. We should probably just buy the stuff to do that. So... 8 of these and 6 of those... So we'll take Gaikon, and we definitely won't get Julian, so I guess going to war with Red was not even valuable. Kalgaros, guys, I just don't... First of all, I'm never going to have any of these laws active, and secondly, I just really don't have time to deal with you right now. So actually, we don't necessarily have to build stuff on almost any of these systems, because at this point... At this point, the only thing that matters, the only thing we are bound by is the speed of our missile generation, I guess, which is the speed of our strategic resource generation. Right, so I'm going to queue up some... Don't Ask Me Any More Questions. It's one of my favorite things to queue up. Here we actually have stuff worth building. Stuff that, I guess... worth building. It probably doesn't actually affect our game anymore. Also, I guess, pick up planets. But also, there's no reason not to build it. It's not like public 3D printing is actually better than building this stuff. We'll just build the stuff and then we'll do the 3D printing. Okay, well, I think that is where we are going to stop for today. We've done a fine job of eliminating a couple of players. Gaikon is going to be very easy to get to, I think. Really, that's the fastest way. I was kind of expecting this from Nakos to Gaikon to be the fastest way. We'll go to Nakos anyway, actually, because we do have to still do a little bit of replenishment. This economic behemoth is still in the air. That player will realize that they are dead soon enough. Okay, so is there any other important orders that need to be issued? I mean, obviously we just killed those guys off. That's going to be probably not that much KE, actually, because their ships are weak and many of them are already pretty much dead. Well, looks like we got the full 10. Oh, there was a hero involved. That does always help. So, yeah, it doesn't really make a lot of sense to spend a lot of effort engaging with Red. In fact, we definitely, we shouldn't bother to invade anything other than Julian. And I'm going to split off these guys. Go to Izar and just play a little bit of defense. Okay, well, I think that's what we're going to call it for today. That was a super long one, but I think we got one more episode left in this game. We have won this game. All that's really left is cleaning up the end parts and responding to any surprises that should occur, although I will say I would be very surprised. I guess that's why they call them surprises. Anyway, come back next time for that, the cleanup, and then for deciding what we're going to do next with the series. And we'll see you then.